So this should be recording, I think. Okay, hello and welcome to a programming video. Hopefully a programming video, but we shall see. So yeah, let's just jump into this. I want to show you a website called Crossover Episode that a friend of mine, Seppo, created. And this is a website to search for BoJack Horseman quotes or scenes. So if we search for something here, like let's say hooray. Yes, if we search for hooray, we get a ton of Todd scenes, as we should expect. And we can go to any of these scenes and we have Todd scene, then hooray. And we can navigate to the next scene and so on. And this website basically has all BoJack Horseman dialogues or captions, should I say, and you can search for anything. So if you have some obscure reference like call me, I think it's this one. Yes, slap my salami. This guy's a Connie. That's a great quote there. I don't even remember what they were doing on this episode, but anyway, yeah, no, I don't remember what this episode was about. But well, the website lets you search for anything and navigate these scenes of every episode in this way. Actually, this is an image, so you have you can copy. Like this is downloading an image and then generating the captions here, and you can edit the captions. So this is Comrade Alexander, say the Great, and yeah, Great, and you can also do typos as you can see. And this is just rastered into the image, so you can copy this as an image and share it anyway. And yeah, it's a great feature. And as you can see, the site is also like super snappy. If I search for something, you can see how the search reacts immediately. So this is because the search is all implemented on the client side. So there's a search engine just for like running on the browser that takes care of searching. So yeah, you can see that everything is quite super fast. And if I stop making typos, we can find something. Now I realize I may not want to click some of these scenes because of spoilers, and this is a great series, so I don't want to spoil anything important. Let's search for Todd. Hooray again. Todd might be a safer character to avoid spoilers. So yeah, Todd and Mr. Peanut Butter, great combo. Anyway, yeah, this is a great site. It works great and it's super fast, as you could see. But there is a something little that bothers me, and it's these previous and next buttons that you can see when I click them. It takes a little while to load the next frame. And again, it's not too much, but it takes some time. And this is because it's doing a request and waiting for the response, and this takes some time. So if we open up the browser devtools, which I don't know, yeah, it opened in a separate window because I was trying something out before and I wanted to have a separate window. Anyway, why is it looks broken? Okay, maybe Firefox farted there. Do I have the I don't know what's happening here. Inspect. I think Firefox is kind of failing here, so let's start up another Firefox. And load the DevTools. Well, I don't know, something is really going wrong here, so I will kill. I have another Firefox running and I will just quit it. That was my personal sort of Firefox instance, and I will probably probably show you something that I don't want to show you. No, thanks Firefox for preserving my privacy or being slow at loading things. So let's try again. You know, software, you can always fail. Okay, so now we do have the browser DevTools. Awesome. And we can see the network, and if I click next. Did I click next? Did it do? Okay, I didn't really notice when the thing changed, but yes, you can see each of those triggered. Okay, so, one of them was cached, but the other one was not cached, and I don't know why the cached one also took like 400 milliseconds, but well, the non-cached one took like 600 milliseconds. So it's taking like half a second, let's say, to load stuff. I realize there's a lot of noise in the streets, even if it's late at night, so I hope that the video doesn't sound too messy. But well, I would like to improve the situation of navigating to previous and next frames, because sometimes you like look for a quote here and you start to read the dialogue and you get carried on, and you know you might watch an entire episode by reading these things. Not that I have done that, but you might. And my idea was maybe we can make this faster by preloading the next and previous images so that they are cached, hopefully cached, by the time we click next or previous. And again, when you go to the next frame, we preload the next one, and so on. So yeah, that's what we are going to try to do today. So let's fire up a console. By the way, I didn't mention, but I have already done one or two contributions to this project, so I have it checked out. A crossover episode. Let's do a git pull to have everything up to date. Oh, now I should do git pull upstream, because this is my local fork, or my fork. Yeah, I can specify a branch, I guess main, but I didn't download anything, so I guess yeah, it's up to date. Let's fire up the VS Code, and let's, well, just to be safe, let's npm install stuff. I don't think I will have to install anything because I have everything up to date, but as usual, npm install takes its sweet time, and yeah, vulnerabilities. Awesome. We shall not worry, because this is the web. npm start up the local server, and there it goes. Does it work? It does. Yeah. This thing needed some environment variables. How was this? Yeah, there is some env files, like env Bojack, and there is also a site for Friends, the series, and some other series, How I Met Your Mother, I guess. But yeah, you have to export these environment variables, and I hope that bash history can save me here. Bojack, yes, indeed we can. So in this one-liner, ugly one-liner, I'm doing some bash magic to export all variables, all variables, and then sourcing that file, and then running npm start. I don't think that this is needed, but yeah, let's be organized and set the options that I set. Yeah, so now it works, and I have my local server. So let's again look for hooray, and it works. And let's see some, again, I'll put some spoilers. Hooray, compliments, awesome. And yes, it looks like it also takes some time to load stuff, which is nice. It means that we can reproduce this behavior. Great. Okay, so let's try to see how I'll try to remember how this code worked. Right. There was a frame function, I guess. Function frame. Yeah, this component is the component that renders this single frame detail. And I feel like I'm going to hit some spoilers working on this, but sorry if I do that. Yeah, so this renders this page, and there's then a search, another component for the search page. And I guess inside here we should find the previews. Yeah. So the previous and next buttons do go to relative frame, which in turn oh yeah, okay. So it's loading, it's doing an async operation to ask for a worker instance for the previous and next frames data, and then it's triggering a navigation, a client-side navigation, that is to this frame path. So I guess this is the function that gets some frame data and creates a URL or a path. So what is a frame data? Frame data is this thing, a thing of this type that has like an ID, episode, and season, and I think HTML is the caption that you see here, and season and episode are the things that you see on the URL. So this is like season 3, episode 1. And the ID, I think it is what follows next, which I think it corresponds to some timestamp or something like that, but I'm not sure, and it doesn't really matter. So let's go back. Now, one thing that I think that we'll have to change is that in order to navigate to the next and previous frames, these are just buttons that trigger this code. And only when the buttons are clicked, the data for the next frame is fetched. And by the way, this data is fetched from a worker, which is a service worker, which is the thing that takes care of all the search. So this search functionality lives on a service worker that like has all the data for all the episodes in a search engine, and you can ask for it. But it also has the data for any single frame, so we have to ask this worker for to give us this data, and this is an async operation. And then only after having this data, we can know the URL to which we have to navigate, and it is that URL that then in turn knows, like if I do next here, we are in 3.1 blah blah 603, and when we do next, it changed to something 479, and it's this thing, if I'm not mistaken, that loads. Well, we can try again doing next. So 940, and we can see here that the URL requested, the file that got requested was 940 still. Like this is the image, and the image corresponds to the URL. So if we don't know the URL to which we have to navigate, we don't know what image to preload. So I guess the first thing that we'll have to change is to do this load before. And I guess we can do this at the same time we load the current frame data. Like this variable, or state variable that has the frame data is the frame data of the current frame that we are looking at. So let's search for set frame data. Yes, and this is again loaded asynchronously from this worker instance on a use effect hook. So this thing is what triggers the loading of the data, and it will trigger it whenever basically whenever the these variables change. The other things, I think, are things that don't really change, or doesn't matter. Like these things, doesn't matter for us now. This season and episode and ID, I think, come from URL parameters. So that's basically how this works. When you visit this URL, this frame component asks the router for these parameters, for these things, and then loads that data from this search engine. And this data is basically the same numbers, but also the caption, and with all of that, it knows how to grab the image and then compose this thing into what we see here, which is a very nice profile of Mr. Peanut Butter. That's great. So let's jump back. And I think here, when we do load frame, whenever this thing changed, I think we could also load the previous and next things. Frame data or search results. I don't know why we call these things search results, but let's duplicate this here and let's say prev frame data, or previous sets prev frame data, and this would be next frame data and set next frame data. And it's going to be of the same type, I think. And I also think that for completeness, we could say cur frame data. And yes, I'm using abbreviations to have everything line up to 4 characters, because of course this kind of OCD kind of things are the most important things when programming. Cur frame data. Alright, so when we set cur frame data, current, we will also, here we load this thing, and we are not using async await syntax. That doesn't matter. We're going to do the same, but we are going to load, I think this is the delta, if I'm not mistaken. When we're doing this, go to relative, we say load frame, blah, 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 and the delta can be 1 or -1, so -1 corresponds to the previous frame. And here we get the data. And I guess we can say, well, just this would be set previous frame data. And actually, I think we can do an eta reduction, or replace all of this function with this. And then we load the next frame data and do this. And with that, we should have the previous and next frame data. And I guess once we have that, we don't need to do this again here. So we can remove this. Actually we can in path. Yeah, we can do, well, delta. We have this delta here, but I think we can search for, like, just inline what this thing does. Now let's take the frame data, which will be a search result, and do frame data here. And let's jump to the errors. Thank you, TypeScript, for being nice. Prev frame data and frame data, and it's still complaining. I think because this can be null. Okay, can you suggest something? No, you cannot suggest something intelligent. I wanted this to suggest to put null here. And I'm already thinking that this is a bad approach, but what? Okay, yeah, here we have to check for this. Okay. I don't know if this thing has hot preload. I guess we can probably tell if we go to the React DevTools. We can search here for frame, I guess, frame. And we do have state, 4 kinds of state. And I don't think that this has been reloaded, so let's reload the page. I don't remember if this thing had a hot reloading or not, but we can see the. Damn it, I'm not used to having the DevTools unattached like this. Maybe we can put it then on the left. Yeah, this sort of works. Sort of, I guess. And we can maybe also log here, which is of course the best way of navigating to, let's say, frame data, just like that. Let's move this up. As said, damn it, I'm a bit rusty with this coding things. I don't remember the keyboard shortcuts of the editor. It's been a while. And we do previews. Yes, it has hot code reloading. That's great. So it seems to work. It doesn't work. Awesome. So now we have the previous and next frames data loaded. And actually, what I was thinking is, this is just a button that navigates now. Then it shouldn't be a button really. It can be a good old link tag. So we can get this frame path function, remove this, and go to here and change this for an A tag that doesn't have an on-click. It should have just a, no, it's not an A, it's a link, because this is client-side link. So we link to frame data of what's pre-frame data. And of course, if we don't have that, well, maybe we can say something like this. No, 2 doesn't allow, probably nulls. Maybe we can check for existence of this thing here. So if we have the previous frame data, we render that, and otherwise we don't. So let's also do this here. Link to same thing as before. No, just, well, let's just do this. Do I remember? No, I don't remember. Control Shift N. No, man, I don't remember the keyboard shortcuts. This is terrible. Like, find next. How was it done? No, it's not Control F3, but damn it, I hit to Control D. Ah, yes, it's Control D, okay. So we do next frame data. Gotta remember my keyboard shortcuts, man. Okay, so we have previous and next. And let's see the page. That is a warning of no use bars, because we don't need to do a manual navigation. Awesome. So do we still have errors? What is this error? No, this is just code removal. Man, this meaning is confusing. So did this work? Well, we screwed up the style of this, but this these look like links, and they work like links. Awesome. I think the project also had a class name button. Yeah. So if we have a link and have it be class name button, it does what we want to do. What did change here? Oh, okay. So yeah, this renaming changed more lines than we may have wanted to, but that's fine. We're loading things here. Where are the buttons themselves? Okay, here. Link to blah class button, and we have 2 buttons. And how do they look now? They don't look very great. I guess the CSS probably has some specificity or some specific rules for this. Let's look for CSS. Have CSS. How do we? I guess we can look for button. Selected. That's probably this one, right? Nth child to margin left. It looks like it is these things. Button, blah blah blah. Okay. So yes, maybe we can say class button and class button nth child. Yeah. How does it look now? I think it looks correct, right? Yeah, this should be that way. Awesome. So we got these styles looking how we want. And look at that. Now these things are actually links. And I think my my face got frozen. Hopefully I don't know, I'm seeing that the preview of my face is broken or frozen, but hopefully the screen recording is still going on, or maybe I shall pause it and continue on. Well, let me first finish this, what I'm doing. So we changed these things to links, and I think this is already a welcome change because, well, I like to see where things go, and these previous and next buttons are semantically links, I think. So I think the experience is a bit better to knowing where you're going, and do these things update correctly? I think they do. Yeah, this probably also, it's also nice that, you know, these things work as links. Maybe, you know, if Google starts indexing these things, they can, oh, but this doesn't look good. Back to search shouldn't look like this. So I think, yeah, okay. I guess selected item. This is inside of selected item. Yeah, and this is here, frame navigation. Yeah, okay. Let's do something like, I'm not really sure. So this thing, I guess, is not being display block, right? Yeah, no. Display is inline block. Yeah, all right. So I guess we don't want to select all of this. Let's move this down to where frame navigation ID is, and let's have, well, let's move it even more down and have it like this. And how does it look now? It does look good. Let's do yeah, everything looks on this place, or maybe not, or maybe this add to mosaic. Yeah, these two things, but actually I'm not sure if they are meant to be this way. I don't know, actually. Let's not break that. So are these things inside frame navigation too? That's weird. They are not inside frame navigation. Ah, but they are buttons and they were, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, let's then keep the preview selector, but with the button tag, not button class, and it should be the same as before. I don't want to change the style of things, I just want to make this thing a link and this one too. So okay, that's great. Let's make a commit and see why my face is being frozen here and if I can fix that. So let's first check out the changes. So we're doing this. I'm not a fan of this, but fine. We're also adding these two new state variables. Makes sense. This also makes sense. Yes. This adds a bit of noise in this line, but that's fine. Yeah, so I'm okay with these changes. Let's commit. So what are we doing here? We are convert or use links for previous and next navigation instead of, or let's say, use links for using a button tag, use an A tag to navigate to previews and next frames. Let's say, how was the I'm trying to remember the shortcut that I had to wrap lines. Yeah, this one. Add Q, man. It's very common to control Q, which closes the application. So this is not only more semantically correct, but I guess no, but it also, this doesn't make sense. This improves the user experience as users. This allows users to middle click on these links and should also allow web crawlers to understand and crawl this site more effectively. I don't know if this is actually true, but I mean, in theory, it should be. So save and be done with that commit. And I will stop recording now and see if I can fix my face being stuck. Can I pause recording? Okay, stop. Okay, and we are back. I have no idea what went wrong with OBS. I just killed it and restarted it, and now it seems that the webcam is no longer stuck. So yeah, that always seems to work with software, but it's kind of sad that things It seems to sometimes. I hope that this is not a persistent error, but it might be. Anyway, let's try to do with what we actually came here to do, which is to preload these images. So what I was thinking is to use a link rel preload, which, now that I think about it, having these things be links actually can help us, because I would guess that when we do next, this is 7, you can see the URL here on the bottom, 794. If I click next here, it did load this. Well, I don't know if this will actually help us, but let's copy this URL. Let's go to the previous. Actually, I kind of hate this thing on the left, right, like this, so let's do a separate window. Oh man. How? Okay, here you are. Can you go here? Thank you. So we are in this frame. Let's clear this up. If we reload, let's clear again. What happens when we click next? We get this thing, get this request. Great. Let's reproduce it. Let's go back. Let's reload, and let's try to make the same request by using a preload link. So I have little idea of how this should work. I think I've only seen it. I don't remember. At some project I think we might have used it, but I will probably have to Google for things here. So if we do documents, create element, link, and we make this link rel preload, and we make this link have an href of this URL I just copied, and we have everything cleared in network. Finally, if we put this thing in the document head, can I type head append or append child? I don't know the difference between these two, but I hope this is append child. We put the link, and we was in order to ask or type values or non-matching media attributes. I have no idea what that is, but it didn't trigger. Yeah, okay, so the preload of this thing was in order to, I don't know, ask or type. What is that? HTML link, preload link type. Link types preload. Preload, value of the link. Material lets you the prefetch request on the HTML head. Okay. Yes, this is what I want. Yes. Okay. So yes, the basics. Here, however, we will use a rel value of preload, which turns link into a placeholder for any resource we want. We will also need to specify the path to resource, okay, the type of the resource as attribute. Okay, so you have to do link. Yeah, so you cannot say rel style sheet, so you have to put as style, I guess. And what is the as for? Okay, so we have all of this value. Okay, nice image. Yeah, this is exactly what we want, an image. So as image. Let's try again. Can we try with the same thing? If we do document head remove child, yes, link, and then we put as the property as does exist image, and then we append it again. Okay, didn't trigger that. Okay. This seems to have triggered the request. Awesome. And this was the, I think, next one, right? If we do next, what happens? It seems that it did load the same image twice. Maybe this is because I had this disable cache. Damn it. Let's clear that disable cache. Let's try again. Damn it. Let's do document. Let's do it all in one line. Create elements, link, will preload, link href is, do I still have? Yes. Link, what else? As image and document head. Wait, I already have this on the head. Let's remove this. Do I still have it? I don't know. No, I shouldn't have this. Okay, let's copy this thing. Reload the page. Right? Clear. Run this code. Okay, this was now cached, which is too bad, but if we do next, this still seems to have triggered the request. Can we avoid this cache behavior if we force reload? So if we force reload, I think we should have cleared the cache, and we do next. Yeah, okay, so now it didn't do the cached request. So damn it, my face got frozen again. But I learned that OBS can pause recording, so I will just okay, and I'm back again recording. I don't know why OBS keeps doing this, but it's annoying, and I forgot what I was doing. So where were we? I think we were preloading stuff. Something. 7, 5. Okay, go next. This is what we are. Okay, the previous. So why is this thing? Why does this thing not seem to preload stuff? Right. If we do run this, this did make the request for 794. We go next. Did it do the request again? Yes, it did. It's actually, this is, I don't know why it's taking so little. Maybe because the CDN, like, I'm requesting things that the CDN has hot in their cache. So, but it still did make the request. Like, it's not cached. Why? It did transfer the same things, the same amount of bytes, right? Yeah. No. 23, 25. There is some difference between these two. Now, how do we know? Well, request priority. Okay. response headers. Something is different here. Age header, okay, that's different, but is there anything else different? Yes, there is Firefox Speedy. Does that have anything to do with this? I don't know. Maybe I should ask Google. HTML preload image with link tag. Okay, how to preload images without JavaScript? That might be good. Link prefetching. Maybe prefetch is what I want. This seems to be what we are doing here. And what does this blog post say? Okay, again, this looks quite like what we wanted. Maybe the MDN page has something. Response image. This doesn't seem to be what I want. Like, does the first request have any warning or something? Like, why is it not being used? Oh, there is a thing here. Version HTTP 3 and HTTP 2. Strict origin, one cross origin, strict origin, one. There is a difference here also. And these things are cross origin, right? Yeah, because yeah, this is from localhost, and we are. I wonder if there is some cross origin. Preload, blah, blah. Is there some cross origin? Yeah, I saw some coarse things here. Preload request cross origin attributes to be set. There is a cross origin attribute. That's cool. Can we do that? So we do have the link. Link cross origin, yeah, with capital O. Let's do link dot cross origin true, I guess. And before hitting enter, if we clear everything and hit enter now, well, it is the URL that we are looking at. Did that work? I feel that no, I was already there. Let's reload the page, force reload, clear everything, run this with cross origin true. This should have made a request. Yes. Non-cached. We do next. Okay. Did that work? I think it did. And if we do next again, we should see. We did see a request. Oh, awesome. Awesome. And if we do previews, we have the same thing. We have the same request, but it's cached now. So this is HTTP caching. But this was our link preload thing. Awesome. So I think that worked. So now I just have to. I do have the URLs. I just have to render these links. So let's do it. And What is this? I don't know. This is now work trigger. I want to have the frame component, this one. And in the render stuff. Oh, by the way, I should render this on the head, I think. Unless I can render it on the body. Can I do this? That would be useful, I think. Can I render this thing on the body? If I clear this up and do document body append child. Didn't seem to preload the thing, but am I on the correct? The resource at blah blah preloaded with link preload but was not used within a few seconds. Make sure all attributes. What? This is. What the hell? Interesting. What was the? I think it was this frame that we were preloading. A few seconds. What? That's weird. Okay, so let's try again. I think it doesn't work with the body, right? If we are here, we clear the network tab, we do this. Oh, actually it did trigger the request. And I did put it in the body, right? Yes, but now I get this warning, which is interesting. Does this mean that we are now going next? Oh, actually it did. All attributes to the preload tab, that's correct. This warning is weird. Let's go for it. Was not used. I mean, I don't really care about this warning, right? As long as the thing gets preloaded, should be fine. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. So people say add cursor, and I have already figured that one out. Yeah. I think I should be fine. Wait, no. What I wanted to check was: is it legal to put links in HTML body? HTML link tags on body in the body of an HTML document. That's SEO. What? If they contain an item prop. I don't think this is what I want. Can I preload link tag on body? Link type preload. Let's look for body. Body. Oh, okay, no, it doesn't seem. But it did work. Oh, using an HTML preload at the end of an HTML file, not in header. This looks more promising. 0 votes. This looks less promising. You're on the right track. You're preload. Blah blah. Does it work? You can use, but owner has mentioned in the answer must include its and prop. HTML link in body. Let's reduce the search. Oh, geeks for geeks. MDN. Okay, I trust the MDN to say the right thing. Body. A link element can occur in the head or body element depending on whether it has a link type that is body okay. Body okay. That seems like something inappropriate to say about someone. They are body okay. But I guess this is just a link, so there should be no offense. Okay, and therefore it's permitted in the, okay, so for example, this style sheet link type is body okay, and therefore a link, this, I didn't know this. You can put this on the body. This isn't a good practice to follow. It makes more sense to separate your links. Well, okay, I don't know what is good practice, but what is body okay? This is an external link to the spec. Awesome. The HTML spec. Okay. Yes, elements are allowed in the body. So preload is body okay, I think, right? Okay. Link type. Where is preload? Preload, yes. External resource not allowed, yes. What is this not allowed? No, I think link. Is it body okay? Yeah, okay. Link to an external resource is body okay, so I think it should be safe. And this is awesome because otherwise I would have to use a use effect hook or something like that to add this thing to the head, like just what I did on the browser devtools, but I would have to do that, or either use a library, like I think there's a library called Helmet that allows you to have a component that puts things on the head, but this should be easier. We can just render this. No, this is what am I looking at? No, this should be, yeah, we're gonna start a frame here. Awesome, selected item. We have this link, back to search, blah blah. So let's put this under, we have the image mosaic data. That's awesome. Let's also put a link here. Yes. I think this can be self-closing, if I'm not mistaken. So what did we want? To have preload, to have href be the what? The next frame dates. No, we want the URL for the next frame data. So how does the image URL? The image URL gets computed by this beautiful string interpolation. So I guess we can extract this to function in module scope, which is going to be called image URL. Right. Yes, and let's look at this. I think I had a similar thing to this. Yes, in this let's move this auxiliary function to the bottom. Just as we have frame path, we will have image URL. Formatting is messed up. We don't have to say that it returns string. That is obvious. We do have the frame data, but we can say just frame. Yes, So I guess same logic as before. That is good. Why is it complaining? Missing space before function parentheses. Okay. We can probably convert this function to what? To a, let's follow the same style as here. Const blah equals this, and does this, and remove braces, and let's do in the same style as this. Okay. If we close this, we have two functions. This one is a bit more messier, but that's fine. So we can use image URL of next. Yes, we will preload that. And doesn't like this because it can be no again. So let's ask for this. If we have this, want to preload. We also wanted to do what? This as image and be cross origin. Be cross origin. What? Is this what I want? I don't know. And here I also want to do it with curve frame data. No, curve frame data. No, with next frame data. So we preload the current and the next as images. That seems good, I think. So let's go back again. Let's open the network tab, and it's time for truth. Let's put this on the left. Hopefully this won't be so noisy. Force reload to have everything non-cached. Next. What did it? Yeah, I think it worked. Right? It didn't work it didn't preload this one. It did preload the next one. So if we do next, yes, I think not actually noticing. Yeah, now but it is freaking. Oh yes, this works. This works great. Yeah, this does work. This is really cool. And if we go previous, here it did preload 794, which is where we are, I think. And if we do this, no, I think we're still loading things that we have previously preloaded. And now we're here. I don't remember seeing Mr. Peanut Butter with his ears like that. So I think we are in new territory. We go previous, and yeah, it did load this, which was cached. And I think this is, no, we are in known territory still. I think now we are in unknown territory. Go to the previous. I think this is working. There is some. Hooray, compliment. I think this is where we started, right? So, is this taking time to load? I'm not really sure with the previous one. So, no, it seems like I think we messed up something. So we are in 7:15 and it did load. Yeah, it did transfer all the data, so it wasn't cached, right? If we do the previous, yes, for some reason it's not, doesn't seem to, oh, yeah, of course, because we are preloading only the next one. This should have been, sorry, again, I'm messing up. It should be prev. Okay. Of course it wasn't working. So now it did hot code reload. If we load this, yes, it did preload 59, and we are not in 59. 59 is the previous. So yes, now it works. Good for previous and next. Isn't this awesome? If we go to some other tools, hooray. Let's say, don't want to spoil things, oh, everything seems spoilery. Where is this? Okay, this one is funny, not so spoilery, I think. We do next. It's already cached, and yes, I think we are seeing 40. 40 was already cached. So yes, I think this is working pretty nice. Why I'm seeing this? Yeah, because it's also loading, like prefetching the previous one. So the previous one to this one is 40, I think. Yes, and it had like this triggered a preload of the next one, but this was already cached. So I think this is fine. Yeah, and the thing feels amazing. Feels super fast. So this is great. I love this. It actually worked really nice, this idea of using the link preload. Well, I had to fumble a little bit with the cross-origin thing, but I didn't know that we could use this in the body of the HTML, so that's really good. So let's review the changes and make a commit and go to sleep, because it's a bit late. So what we did here is we extracted this image URL thing. Great. We also added this preload links, and that's it. The changes are very, very simple. So let's commit. Preload next and previous frames images. Use a link rel preload to preload, I guess. Preload, the verb sounds better with this. To preload the next previous and next frames. So when the user clicks on these links, the images are already cached by the browser, hopefully, I guess, hopefully already cached by the browser, and the navigation is instantaneous. Yes, awesome. Okay, that was pretty good. I think I should have worked on a separate branch. Let's do that. Let's check out image preload branch. Let's push. And I think this is where I'm going to end the video. I'm going to create a pull request now, or maybe tomorrow. But I think this is all that I wanted to do. I'm okay with the changes. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have been, I'm doing these videos just to force myself to code something, and I don't know, it's just an idea of trying to do some focus work and some recreational programming. Oh, by the way, I didn't showcase this thing, which I think is some great feature by this site. So you can also, like as we mentioned, you can search for things and you can navigate, but you can also create mosaics or mosaics. I don't know how to call them. So you can add this current frame to a mosaic, then let's say next, and add this too, and let's say next, and finish our mosaic like this. And again, this is all a single image. So if I do copy image here, and I go to, like, I can share this image, for instance. Well, maybe this will need some editing. Hopefully nothing embarrassing is shown here. Okay, now pixel art is okay. So I can paste, and look at that. We can share the image on Twitter or whatever we want. I have some notifications, but I won't check that today. Yes, so this is all that I wanted to do today. Let's clear the mosaic, and thanks Seppo for the for this amazing website and having an excuse to do something. Also thanks to MDN and the HTML spec and random websites for all this information. And thank you if you have been watching. Thanks for doing so, and till next time. Bye bye.